A very good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching. Welcome to a very, very quiet Sydney Harbour for the first heat of the Giltinan 18ft Skiff World Championships for 2026. Peter Shipway on behalf of the Sail Media team. Well, we've got a day that's bringing plenty of excitement, plenty of interest, because it's the big day that everyone really looks forward to throughout the 18ft Skiff season. Not much breeze, it's in the east-northeast, very light, hazy old day in Sydney, quite warm on the harbour, but I think, and I know that we're going to see some exciting racing. We saw the invitation race yesterday, which was a really thrilling race, and we'll get to that a bit later. But I think before we get too much further, to give us an overview of what he thinks is going to happen today, and especially with the weather, Dolly DeVola, good afternoon to you, Dolly.
Good afternoon, Shippo. Good afternoon, viewers. Yeah, as you say, Shippo, it's hot, humid, pretty muggy, and breeze has sort of been shifting around a little bit between the east-northeast, and we not long ago saw it even tick around to the north-northeast. We've only got about probably 5 to 8 knots last few minutes. It's kind of picked up a little bit and settled into nor'east a bit, but we're not going to get a nor'easter, I don't think, because we've got quite a bit of cloud cover. Outgoing tide all afternoon with a differential of a metre, so bit of tidal movement, but yeah, we're just waiting to. Jimmy's going to fill us in on the course, but it doesn't look like we're going to do the full northeast course. But Jimmy will fill us in on that, I'm sure.
We've got early indications of what that course might be. We were alongside the committee boat a little earlier and talking to Hugh Lester, the PRO, and he gave us an indication of what he thought about 10 minutes ago. So we'll stick with that for the moment, Jimmy. We haven't got any reason to think that'll change. So good afternoon to you, and tell us what Hugh is expecting to set as a course this afternoon for the first heat of this championship.
Afternoon, Shippo. Afternoon, viewers. Yeah, speaking to Hugh Lester, he's going to put us on a Windward-Leeward course, a 6 over 3, so it's 3 works from down near Clark Island up to, he's thinking near the Eastern Channel mark, just short of the Beachel Buoy. But with the mark set bots, gives him the option to be able to move that with that swinging breeze that Dolly was talking about. So fingers crossed we get a half-decent race in, and we can definitely... it's a funny one out here at the moment. It's all chopped up. There is a regatta going on, and watching what's going on with these other yachts, it will be interesting. But at least this way, they don't have to try and get around Shark Island on a jibe or anything like that, Pete. So, it should be pretty straightforward. But eyes out of the boat day, definitely.
Yeah, it's a hazy old day on the harbour. A bit of cloud cover away to the west and northwest. There's forecast heavy rain this afternoon, or thunderstorms, and then into tomorrow, but that's for a few hours hence. At the moment, looking upwind, there's not much wind there. It's about 8 knots at best, I guess, as we're seeing this fleet come down. So this championship brought to you by the winning group, and today we're racing for the George Calligris Trophy. The late George Calligris, a great supporter of the 18-footers through his sponsorship of Rag and Famish, through his hotel, and that's been carried on by his son, Peter Calligris. But today's race partner is the Killer Coffee Group, and a little earlier today I spoke to the skipper of Killer Coffee, Jordan Gertis. He's also the Commodore of the 18-footer club here at Double Bay, and this is what Jordan had to say.
Happy with the international competition. Yeah, fantastic. We've got 6 countries represented here, including the USA for the first time in a number of years, which is really cool to see. We've got Germans, Danish, UK, New Zealand, and of course our Queenslanders.
It was a good hit out yesterday in light conditions, wasn't it? Very competitive early on. There was a lot of boats up close to the lead.
Yeah, and a perfect invitation race, I think. Just enough to get us all going, close racing, and just sort of a bit of a shakedown. It was a long course too, so all parts of the harbour, different breezes, and good to just get out there.
And how'd the mighty Killer Coffee go? You happy with it?
Killer Coffee was up there at the start, which was great. Some tactical decisions didn't go away down the second run, but otherwise, boat speed's good, team's working well together. We've only sailed together 4 or 5 times, which is quite good, but despite that, in the pack competitive, which is good.
And it looks like a lightish sort of day today, doesn't it? Another tricky one, perhaps?
Tricky, I'd say a little bit further in the left, a little bit more traditional sea breeze, hopefully, but still light. Looking up the harbour now, 8 maybe max, which is still good. Still good racing, and hopefully a long course so we can pick our way up with an outgoing tide.
Yeah, and then I thought the Americans were pretty handy yesterday. I mean, they haven't sailed for 18s for a long, long while, and over 10 years.
Yeah, I think that
they were up in the mix for a little while. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they were showing. They were telling us in the park earlier. The last time they sailed with pinhead mains, essentially. So, big step up in terms of the tech these days. But yeah, straight in the boat, straight off the line. Out to the left with us, and they were burning. It's good.
Well, thanks for what you do and the club do for all this competition. It's just marvellous, and I think we're seeing a lot of interest. So good luck for the killer coffee today.
Thanks very much, Ivo.
Well, if you've just joined us, we're about 25 minutes away from the opening heat of this year's JJ Giltinan Championship, and we might just recap on yesterday's race, which was the invitation race, which doesn't count for the overall point score, but it gave everyone a chance to flex their muscles in a rather lightish southeasterly breeze that didn't really get it much above 10 knots. And it was a thrilling race in the end, really, between Balmain and Smeg. Balmain with Henry Larkins and Smeg with Ash Rooklyn. Now, we're just looking at a lot of yachts, a lot of skiffs out here at the area where we are. But we congratulated Balmain yesterday, and we made an error. I know it's hard to believe that we did make an error. I didn't make it, but Jimmy and Dolly really made a big, serious error when they were talking about the crew of Balmain. Would you like to please explain, you two?
Turn it up, Shippo. You're the man with the list of crews. No, they didn't inform us of a change of crew, and understand that when we're sitting in here in the cabin of the camera cat, the Sail Media camera cat, it is pretty hard to tell who's who when they're all covered up in sailing gear and hats and
sun protection, you name it.
Yeah, and the crew on the Balmain yesterday did have the full. What do they call those hats with the neck protection, like Lawrence of Arabia type thing? And at one stage, I did think he looked a little bit lean for Lockie. I thought he had a week on Shane Warne's mum's tablets to shed down a bit, because he'd been looking at the wind forecast. But you're going to inform us who was on board, I'm sure, aren't you, Shippo?
Long excuse. I don't know whether I'll pass that. But anyway, it was a man known as Fangs. Of course, we know him, Josh Feldman. He stood in for Lockie Pryor, who was best man at a wedding. And Lockie said he was watching. He was over the wedding, I think it was over at Athol.
It was at Bradley's Head, mate.
Yeah,
so
Jimmy could watch the race and he could watch the race and listen to us and listen. He was congratulating himself for being out there when he wasn't even out there. But look, we do apologise. We were throwing a curveball. It was Josh Feldman who was on the crew with Tom Grimes, and
he did a fantastic job.
They did a great job, and a really exciting race. It was a terrific race for the opening day, really, and the event that really didn't have much impact on the event. But it gave everyone a chance to get out there in very light conditions, which we're going to have today too. Yeah, that's the result from yesterday. Sorry, Dol. Balmain, Smeg, Yandu, Shaw and Partners, Vycobi, GC Sales, Black Knight. They're the Germans, Club Marine, Fisher Paykel, and the Bigfoot Bag and Covers from Brisbane. So we're just down here in the starting area, head of Rushcutters Bay between Garden Island and Clark Island. There's a lot of yachts and a lot of 18s just trying to get upwind in these very light, choppy conditions.
Yeah, I was just going to say, those results from that invitation race yesterday is probably a pretty good form guide for today, because we're looking at, even though the direction is different, pretty similar conditions. But, we've got the Sydney Harbour Regatta going on this weekend, and because it's a light day, we were hoping that their racing would be finished by about the time that we get underway. And the yachts are coming down to a finish below the 18-footers start line here, but it looks like they might be hanging around for another race. But we'll wait and see. But hopefully by the time we get into this race, the harbour will clear a bit. We've got the Historics out here as well, Shippo, who've only just started.
They'll be slow today, but I think some of these yachts may be just dropping their sails and going to have a look at the 18s. I can see Ambition behind Clark Island dropped his sails. There's a few other yachts that I don't know whether they're going to get away to another race, but anyway, we'll soon see. We're still about 20 odd minutes away from the start of the first heat of the JJs for 2026.
Yeah, now I mentioned that, looking at yesterday as a form guide, really super close race we had yesterday, which was really impressive. The compression in the fleet, especially for the first half of the race, and yeah, we saw that light air form, Shippo. We've seen in the previous races, in the lead-up, we've had Balmain and Lazarus and a few of those boats. Impressive one yesterday was certainly Ash Rooklyn in Smeg, wasn't it, with Josh Probeski coming on board?
Yeah, well, they certainly lifted their game, and they were in front for a long, long while and just got nabbed it right at the end of the race. But anyway, it was a really good one to watch, and we've got a capsize already looking upwind there. Jimmy, I think, have we? We got over...
I think, is it the Danes? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, not really a day you'd expect to capsize, but these things happen, maybe to sort something out with the rigging. But anyway, the live chat is up and going and it's very active. The Yankee Express is there. He's giving Dylan another... Oh, Dylan sent himself another... Our drone operator sends himself text. That's a
wrap.
Way to go.
Giving himself a wrap.
Yeah, Brisbane 18-footers. Hello to you. Sue Hurd is there. Ian Barnard is there. Ben Sailing, 22.55. The Termite USA. Greetings from the Chesapeake Bay, USA. Well, greetings to you, Termite. Greetings to Jeff Stagg, also from Annapolis, watching as he does each day. So hello to you, Staggy. Nice to hear from you. Wolf Pfeiffer's there. Georgie Smith's there. Georgie Smith. Rip-in GC sales. I wonder why you're saying that, Georgie. But anyway, I think I might know. But hello to you, and nice to see your mum and dad down last weekend in Sydney, Ian and Rosie. Julian Hannibus is there. Pete O'Connor's there. Katie Love's there. 1706 Joe Shaw. Ward Brooks is there. Nipper Henderson. So thank you. Very much appreciated. Wet and miserable from Yeppoon in Queensland, from Stephen Spruce. Yeah, I think you're going to cop plenty of rain up there by the sound of it, looking at the weather last night. But if you just joined us, it may be early in the morning where you're watching, or late in the evening, or in the afternoon here in Sydney. It's a light day, a little cloud cover, it's very hot and humid. A lot of spectator boats out already. The ferry is absolutely full. There's our 18-foot ferry that leaves from the Double Bay Wharf, and there's yachts coming down with not much pressure in the spinnakers. There's some got some friends out from America that have come all the way from Connecticut. They watched the live stream and they thought, well, instead of watching it this year, they'll come in to Sydney, and they've acquired a place, a B&B up in Darling Point, and they're down there watching the racing yesterday, and they're out today watching. So it's wonderful to have those people, and the coverage we get through Sail Media has just been incredible. So the day is starting to cloud over. It's very hazy. It's still very hot, and there's not much breeze here at the moment.
Yeah, it was really nice to meet the ladies in particular from the States, and it's not just their first time for the JJs. They'd never been to Australia before, and they've come to Australia to watch the 18-footers, so absolutely fantastic. And another fella, David Roberts, he came down to the dock and he said he was gobsmacked at how good the coverage we put out is, Shippo. So gobsmacked was the word he used.
I like it. I like that. Yeah. We might use that during the race. But here's an old friend. Wait, Tink Chambers. Lovely to hear from you, Tink. An old yachty from way back, mixed up with the Kealoha programs, and top New Zealand yachtsman. He's watching. So from North Carolina. Hello to you, Tink. And I know we've got a lot of friends from New Zealand watching. New Zealanders, not only in New Zealand but around the world. David Clark is there. So it's a day that could hold some surprises, but who knows? It's quite light and quite choppy. There's been a lot of traffic back and forth. The harbour clearing somewhat. There's the New Zealand Hope. Shaw and Partners.
And a big hope, yeah, Shippo. There's a lot of talk about those guys. And
the two New Zealand boats, ASCC, but the big hope is Shaw and Partners. from New Zealand, Eli Leifting, Sam Street and Josh Shon, carrying the hopes of the nation on their shoulders.
Yeah, I expect they're probably hoping for a bit more breeze than what we've got today. We'll see how they go today, but I expect as we get into the week and we might get a little bit more breeze, I'm expecting those guys to improve. But we'll see how they fare today. But with similar conditions to yesterday, I'm expecting probably the Balmain and the Yandu to once again be up towards the front of the fleet. Keegan York was working feverishly with his crew on the boat in the park yesterday, and I did have a chat to him about his tactics that we were talking about yesterday, Shippo, and I said to him, you know, if you can sail the exact opposite course to everyone else and still be in the mix, then you might be actually going okay. So,
yeah, he didn't miss yesterday. He hit every corner he could till he ran out of water, really, but anyway, you wouldn't want to discount Keegan York. And I spoke to our American friends, and they really enjoyed their day out yesterday, and they performed pretty creditably. They got round the track, and they were certainly very much impressed by the day out there. They said it's very tricky on the harbour. And I said, well, it's very tricky for people that have been sailing here for 30 or 40 or 50 years. So you join the club there. They're sailing Andu USA. Got Dave. There's the winners from yesterday with Lockie Pryor now back in the bow. You got that, Dolly?
Is that confirmed, is it, Chippo?
Yeah, I spoke to him today. Josh Feldman.
I was going to say, I'll message Lockie's old man to confirm.
No, I had a yarn to him this morning. Also all good. Tom Grimes and Henry Skipper. We've got some yachts trying to get out of our way here. And our American friends, I'm just going to try and get this pronunciation right of the skipper, Michael Radjagowski. I think that's our man, with Dave Lindenberg and Daniel Roberts. They're top sailors from the West Coast. And skipper Michael won the National 14s in America this year. They haven't raced 18 since 2013 on San Francisco Bay, so it's a long time.
And Shippo, back to our day's partner, the Killer Coffee Company. They had, in the park this morning, they had DJ playing, they had free coffees for everyone and free bacon egg rolls for everyone. It was quite the little festivity going on in the park, and I think this afternoon the DJ continues, but the coffee's put away and espresso martinis.
Gee, there's going to be a rush down to the park now.
Well, funny you say that. I went to get a coffee. There's nothing there. As we hear, 10 minutes to go, Hooter. Anyway, I had to get away without a coffee today. But anyway, we'll come back to the program here. Race 1 of the championship. About 10 minutes away from start. It's light. It's lucky to be 8 knots of breeze here. We've got the course up. It's a 3-lapper, windward leeward. You can see the flags just moving on the committee boat.
Geez, there's not much breeze down towards the bridge, though, Shippo.
No.
I'm glad we're sailing up the harbour.
There's a long band of cloud away to the west-northwest.
Very hazy.
Bit hard to see it on the screen, but it's there. There it is. You can see as we pan away, you can just see that cloud line there. Thunderstorms, as I said earlier, expected this afternoon. But the good news is the harbour is cleared out of these yachts. I don't think they've got another race. A lot of the yachts have dropped their sails and are hovering around to watch these skiffs get underway on the first race. There's the USA boys we're talking about on Andu. Boat owned by Herman Winning. He's been lent them to the 18-foot team from America, which is wonderful to see them out. And we're approaching the start. We've got about not long to go before we see the 5 flags go up to signify 5 minutes to go. And gee, it hasn't got any stronger, this breeze. It's got lighter, if anything.
It's looking worse, yeah. Interestingly, down at the airport, there's a bit of breeze out of the east, but I can't see that coming here.
And for the viewers at home, there is the tracker. So grab your phones, your iPads, whatever it is, and scan that, and that'll take you straight to today's race live for all the data, and you can see how little speed that these boats will have on today. But interestingly enough, you'll be able to look at all the other data and bits and pieces for these boats. You can actually select individual boats. If you just want to follow one, you can do that. You can follow all of them and click on them, and they expand and give you all the great information that all the tech heads love to look at.
Okay, well, thank you. We're just getting a bit of information, which is very helpful to me, especially from David Clark. I assume you're in the States somewhere, David. He's telling me how to pronounce the skipper's name of Andu USA, Radjovski. And somewhere they're telling me that the USA bowman's nickname is Sid Vicious. And I hope this is all right. I perhaps should be double checking all this, but I like that. Thank you, David, for that, and thank you, Mike Scott, for Sid Vicious.
How you get that from Daniel Roberts?
Well, we're not sure, but we'll work with it.
Well, we had to work with Lockie Pryor yesterday on our notes, Shippo.
But you got to lift your game, you two. I was on top of it. Okay, there's the light air for the start of the race. Oh, looking upwind. It's got even lighter, if that's possible. It is super, super light.
It has, and 3 laps of this course.
Yeah, it's going to be a long afternoon.
It's going to be a long afternoon.
Well, I had a look just before. It's a 1.8 nautical mile beat, and 050 is the heading. So just a wee bit right of the northeast course.
Yeah.
Well, it's joining the dots and finding the pressure. That's what sort of day it is.
The first downwind punching into that tide's going to be tough. Will certainly help them a bit on the upwind.
There's Emma Rankin and Club Marine with Jed Cruikshank and Brandon Byank. They were in the top 10 again yesterday. She's had a good season, Emma. Won a heat of the Australian titles.
And this is her breeze. When she's done well, it's been in this lighter condition.
There's a lot of yachts standing by to watch this race, which is terrific. It's always draws spectators, but especially a big event like this. There's spectator craft out. There's the ferries full.
Big spectator crowd. They've kind of got us locked in here too. Jimmy's just trying to navigate us into a little gap here.
I got us into the spot where I thought we wanted to be, and then Balmain came to say Henry could look down the line and get his ley transit, so I had to bail out of where we were, so I'll try and get us back in there. So
just heard the hooter, and the 5 flags are up, so we're 4:40 away from an opening race of the championship for 2026. Defending champion is Yandu, with Tom Needham steered it last year, but Herman winning, back on the helm. Now, where's the start line, Dol? It's what's the tide going out? So
tide's going out. Pretty even line, but
I'd be in the middle somewhere.
I'll be wondering if we might see a general recall this first one, Shippo. First race nerves, outgoing tide.
Normally pans out that way, but we'll see.
Four minutes. They won't want to get too far away from the line in this
No, they won't. We normally find one boat way up to windward, but they've all got back. Lazarus was up there, Tom Koenig, but he set the Spinnaker to come back down, so we're all behind the line, except, I think...
The Banvarn Vikings.
The Vikings.
Yeah.
Our Danish friends. They're wandering away upwind. I don't know what they've got planned, but the rest of the fleet just hovering near the start line because there's not much breeze at all.
got some yachts
There's a
off
yacht.
screen trying to navigate their way through the
One
spectator
yacht you can
fleet.
see at top of screen with a white spinnaker just running back through a lot of spectator craft, a lot of yachts, as I said earlier, hovering around, but we're under 3 minutes to go. And
That spinnaker on that yacht would be old enough to vote, I think. Shippo?
There's a few boats that want to get a little bit of a hurry on to
wriggle
think
on,
about
way
where they're
back.
going to start. We're 2.5 minutes. You'd really want to be where you want to.
and it's
line
light.
up.
It's a light east northeasterly breeze on the harbour. You can just see how light it is. Hazy day, a hot day. A fair bit of traffic on the harbour. There's a lot of cruise boats out. It's a warm day, lovely day for anything but probably high-level sailing. It's just super light. 2 minutes 10 to go. A bit of yelling already. That's what we like. That's what we expect. And as you say, Dol, there's a few blokes that would want to get a bit of a wriggle on.
Yeah, because with 2 minutes to go, it's a bit of a mission to get through, especially getting through people's dirty air to get up there. Rag and Famish currently lurking down at the pin end on Port Tack. We've got Killer Coffee and a couple of others coming. Bigfoot, Ballard Property coming in on port, looking for a hole to tack into.
Well, that's the line up there. It's as you'd expect, 28 boats all lined up here. Only boat down at the pin end, as you say, is the Rag and Famish. And they're starting to get a little bit advanced up towards the line. There's not much breeze. Still got 1:20 to go. So they're coming up a little bit quicker than we expected, I think, at the moment.
Tide's pushing them up.
Stand by. The first heat almost underway. Oh, Lazarus coming in on port, just tacking there. Yandu looks nicely positioned. Minute to go. A minute to go for the first heat to get underway. And there's not much wind. You can see them just bouncing up and down. Club Marine right at the weather end. Emma Rankin's here. Just see Club Marine below them. ASCC from New Zealand. Below them, Lazarus. Royal Oak punching out. Yandu starting to get a little bit of wriggle on. Oh, no, Yandu's gone back on port. Where are they going? On port. They're trying to throw a tack in this light air. Just under 30 seconds to go. Oh, there's some nerves here. They're starting to get rolling.
Yeah, down at the pin end, they're getting advanced.
Someone's jumped out. That's the Bigfoot. He's over. He's going to have to go back. 15 seconds. It's Killer Coffee. Brett Van Munster's over down there. Kitchen Make. I think this is lining up as a general here. Very much so. There's a lot of boats over down at the pin end. Still, there's the start. What's he going for, Huey?
Oh, that's a general.
A general recall, yeah. It had to be. It had to be. Yep. Well, as we expected, first heat, general recall. Makes the day even longer. The breeze even softer. So we'll come back and do it all again.
It wouldn't be a JJ's without a general recall first start.
Now will he go black flag?
Knowing Hugh, 100%.
Well, that'll sort him out.
He'll put him on notice of who's in charge of this regatta.
Okay, well, Dol, you might explain. Well, let's wait to see what happens, and if it does occur, we'll explain to everyone exactly what a black flag means. It's a real naughty flag. If you get over the line, you're in serious trouble. Okay, the general recall flag is down. Now that's the view looking back towards the city. It's a bit grey and gloomy. And there's the fleet of 28 18-foot skiffs waiting to get underway in this first race of the championship for 2026. Yandu, the defending champion.
Yeah, they're all getting back in pretty good order.
A little bit more breeze, perhaps, if anything. Probably a knot more breeze. They're coming back okay.
Well, a few less boats up course now to block that breeze out, so that'll help. There's the spectator ferry just coming in to put a loose cover on us.
Yes, hello. There's the 5 flags and a black flag. So, Dol, quickly, a black flag explanation.
Well, firstly, no surprise that Hugh has gone for that. So, black flag means that if you're on the course side of the start line, between the minute and the start, you are automatically disqualified with no recourse. So, you can't duck back. If at that minute or any time within that last minute you're over, you are disqualified.
And if there's a general recall, you
cannot
restart. So your day is over. Whereas with a U flag, it's slightly different, but we won't get too complicated at this stage. So that black flag is a real deterrent for starting early, because if you are over early, there's no recall, you don't hear anything, you're not informed. You're only informed if you cross the finishing line, and you realise then that you don't get the finishing gun or the hooter. You might as well go home. But if we do get, we will make contact after the start with the committee vessel, if anyone we think is close to being over, with 3 minutes 50 to go. We're under black flag instructions, and looking up the harbour, the breeze is probably 6 to 7 knots, I would guess.
Well, I think you're being very generous with that.
Yeah, I want to talk it up. I'm talking it up. Well, that yacht's going up okay, but
it's under motor.
Well, not the other one that's leaning over.
Right.
Look at those historic 18s up there, Shippo.
Well, yeah, they are different, yeah. God, it's hard work here.
Yeah, it's a tough crowd.
Yeah. Okay, 3:20 to go. And we're going to have our second go at the start, a general recall. The first start, it's just 10 to 3 local time here in Sydney Harbour for the first heat, racing for the George Calligaris Trophy in this championship brought to you by the winning group, and race day partner is the Killer Coffee today, 2:50 to go. And flags are now fluttering a little bit better on the committee vessel. So where are we going to start? I think
they're certainly a bit more reserved this time.
Well, as to be expected, it'd be a poor way to start a regatta to be over this line. I think they'll be very hesitant.
Yep, you can't win a regatta on the first day, but you can put a fair dent in losing it. So I think I would expect they will hold back and be a bit more conservative this time.
Yep.
And already it's looking like they're sitting a lot further back than they were last start.
2:10 to go. That's the line there we're looking at. That's the committee vessel in the foreground, and up the top is the pin end.
They're deploying a whiteboard on the committee boat, so I'm guessing...
Already.
Yeah, so they're anticipating the worst.
So they've got 050 is the course direction, which is a little bit right of northeast. Minute and a half, and yep, Yandu, yeah, he's right down the pin.
He's decided to change his tactics from the last start.
Up the windward end, Emma Rankin in the Club Marines up there again. She got a ripper of a start last time. She wasn't over, but majority of the fleet were. So her day was a good start. Was not for much value. She's just tacked away now. There's Emma. And Yandu, Rag and Famish and Shaw and Partners New Zealand down the pin end. That's 55 seconds to go. Ooh, Club Marina getting close up here. They've got to slow down a bit. Real dip in the middle of the line. A real dip.
And Shippo, just for the viewers at home, don't rely on our clock. It's a couple of seconds out. Just 2 seconds out, so just don't rely on that if you're going to be an armchair expert for this start.
Okay, down at the pin, we've got Shaw and Partners New Zealand. We can see them, and Yandu are down there. Up at the windward end, we've got Club Marine, Royal Oak, the Danes, out the German boat, and a real gap in the middle. It's really hooked back there. I think we're all going to be clean. They're well back now. 6, 5, 4, all. Okay. Clean start for sure. Absolutely. And we're away. The first heat is underway for the JJs. By Kobe got absolutely buried off the start line. Yandu jumped out nicely down at the pin, as did Rag and Famish. There's Yandu, the blue and red oval. Rag and Famish behind him, and then up to windward. Shaw and Partners, New Zealand, and Brisbane 18-footer club, and then the Bigfoot down to leeward. A couple of boats have tacked away, Vykobe being one, and our Danish friends on the Vikings, Bad Nav Vikings and ASCC. They all got poor starts. They got absolutely clobbered. Yeah, a few boats starting to come across now onto port. The majority of the fleet in light air on the harbour.
Probably the best start out of that was the Royal Oak at the boat end, and they got away with some good speed, and Emma Rankin put a bow down to take off, which opened up a nice lane for the Royal Oak.
Yeah. You go, Stoner.
Nice start from those guys.
Yeah. And the leading group from the pin is still going left out towards the well under Bradley's Head. And not even anywhere near laying Bradley's Head, because the start was to the west of Clark Island. So it's a 3-lapper, windward leeward.
There is a very big soft area where those boats are heading right now under Bradley's Head.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go too far. Rag and Famish, this young crew. It's the orange insignia there. There's Rag. They're doing a nice job. They're high. To leeward of them is Yandu then. Won't want to go too much further here. It's very light. There's Yandu. Sort of 2.5 strings at best.
They might get a little bit of a port tack lift out of here as the breeze comes around Bradley's Head, but it's very down pressure.
I think that's what they're looking for, is a friendly powerboat knot goes across their bow.
There goes Yandu.
Yandu's tacked. See what they do when they come back. They're very light. They'll be behind Rag and Famish. They'll probably cross the rest, I think. The boats at the start of the pin look strong. Oh, the Yandu's taking a few sterns here. Oh, okay, they're behind Shaw and Partners New Zealand, behind Fisher Paykel. Wow, that didn't look... I thought they were better placed than they were, but the boats that have started the middle of the line are starting to lift high on starboard.
I think Rag and Famish have tacked on a little bit better breeze than...
Yeah, Yandu didn't get anything to go back on.
No.
Now, Shaw and Partners and Fisher Paykel here, extending in towards downside of Bradley's Head. There's the New Zealanders tacking. Yeah, the boat's in the middle. What's happened, Dol? It's gone a little bit right, this breeze.
It has.
And the middle of pack have lifted right around those that started down the leeward end. And Yandu's well back now.
And that boat with the on that drone shot with the wide spinnaker was top weight, I think, is the old vintage 18.
Yeah, well, he's going to get a good view. Now it's gone big time right. We're just watching Brett Van Munster off camera here, going in towards Bradley with pressure in the right. There's Brett.
Yeah,
and,
he's going to have a tough one out.
It's going to be a toughie.
It's going to be tough.
And he's just tacked, and there's Keegan York's going to tackle. His kid's going to tack underneath him. Okay, well, it's ups and downs here. It's very light, stating the obvious. And there's some big shifts. That vintage 18-footer goes back under Spinnaker. Lazarus, one of the fancied boats in the light air, I think you'd have to say.
Your American friends in the Andu have got away pretty well, Shippo.
They're doing nicely. It's hard to see where this is all going to end up. Yandu were hard in the left. They've now gone hard to the right. Do they see breeze over there? I think Rag and Famish in the middle of the fleet have done well. There they are. There's Ben Crawford. But now the boats went into the left. Fisher Paykel and Shaw and Partners, these two are starting to get pressure and lift in the left. Oh, this is tricky. this is really tricky today.
It will keep oscillating, so it's going to be the boats that can link these puffs up.
I think at the moment, Fisher Paykel and Shaw and Partners close to the lead. Yandu's tacked to come back, but it's light, and above him, there's Balmain there, down there, and also Rag and Famish. And the Americans, old Sid Vicious and his mates, they're doing a good job up here to windward. And the breeze is down about 6 or 7 knots, and certainly looking upwind, it looks even lighter.
And it's light in the right for those right-hand boats to tack back.
Yep. They're looking to... But I think these two boats here are the two leaders. And behind them, with the darker sails, is Andu. Just to leeward of him is Shaw and Partners New Zealand. This will be a group that are pretty close to the lead. But it's a big split already.
The Americans in Andu are probably in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, it's pressures coming out of the left and lifting. So Yandu's going back from side to side. Right down on Point Piper. Is that Smeg down there?
Yeah, it is, Pete,
Boy.
with Vycobi.
Vycobi got a horrible start and bailed out early, but there's all these boats are looking for grunt here and pressure. It's light. They just go into a bit more lift on the port tack. That's Club Marine to leeward. There's Rag and Balmain now going back. They won't cross, but they're not far out of it. So I think Brett Van Munster, if you stop the race now, he'd be pretty close to winning.
Yeah, I don't know about not far out of it, those right-hand boats that are coming back. They've given away probably 200 metres.
Yeah, they're slowing down again, aren't they, and heading a little. The left is lifting. So it's a 3-lap windward leeward. Not a traditional northeast course. The breeze a little bit in the right, east-northeast. So right on Bradley's head, top of screen is Yandu. So he's gone from left to right and back to the left again. Now that's the group, the leading group. I'd say at the moment the leading 4. And Shaw and Partners, New Australia, just heading now.
Yeah, Keegan will keep going over there till he hits some land.
Will he go the other side of the island, you think, Tom?
Then he'll go from there all the way over to Clifton Gardens, yeah.
Come on, Keegan.
Here he goes, he's tacking now.
Okay, so I think Fisher Paykel will be across him when we see the intersection. I was close. Starboard tack rights with Shaw and Partners. Brett Munster going to tack underneath him. Okay, so they're probably close to the lead.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure coming to them from the island, but they're going to get through that and then it gets a little bit light again. But right now they're in good shape. They're bow up and they're three on wire.
Yep.
2.5.
Logan Radford and Tom Quigley with Brett Van Munster. And then on the Shaw and Partners Australia, we've got Tom Anderson and Max Paul. Now the breeze has picked up a little here.
Yeah, just a little puff, but it's a bit dead in the middle where the two breezes converge.
Yeah.
So you want to try and avoid crisscrossing. I think they need to pick a side and stick to it. It's going to be interesting to see how Yandu comes back.
He's
and they're
come out
coming
of it
back
very well. Come out of it very well. He's going to be close to the lead. Yandu, hello. Stand by.
He won't be close to it. He'll be in the lead, I think.
Well, they got themselves out of a real problem. They went hard left, didn't do any good. Went hard right, didn't look any good. They went hard back to the left onto Bradley's, and now they'll lead the first heat. About halfway up the first beat of 3. Yandu, Herman winning. Fang Warren and Louis Brake got their noses in front. Fisher Paykel second. Shaw and Partners, and then up to windward is the Andu USA.
Yeah, when we left Yandu before, the breeze was filling in from the left-hand side, and it has ticked around to the left as well. So it's probably northeast.
Yes.
Coming out of the western side of the harbour.
Well, Yandu picked that beautifully. Well, there's Andu now just behind Shaw and Partners. The Americans doing a fine job.
They've definitely got a lot more vang on than what they had on yesterday, so that would be helping them.
Watch the video and listen to your tip,
Yeah,
Jimmy.
what did they tell me? Something happened. Yeah, anyway, all's good today. Now, Yandu has tacked to cover off. And then up to windward here, another boat that's done very well is the Kitchen Maker. See him in a moment. It's Lockie Steele, George Morton and Jerome Watts. There they are. They're percolating very nicely here. Here come the New Zealanders stepping out. The breeze has gone left again here. It's that sort of day. Left and right. But Yandu look at doing a fine job in the front of the fleet.
Yeah, disappointing so far, and a bit surprisingly is the Balmain. But this is this is going to be a long race with a lot of opportunity. I'd expect they will manage to pick their way back through.
Well, smeg away back. The Germans are sort of in the middle of the pack. But Shaw and Partners New Zealand off screen are going way into the right. Kitchen Maker going back on a shocker, meaning the breeze has gone into the left. And Shaw and Partners New Zealand going into the right. But that cloud cover from the city, Dole's getting a bit closer, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's pretty hazy at the Harbour Bridge now, that's for sure.
So that will probably mean something.
A couple of these overseas competitors were saying, they need to learn a few of the little intricacies of Sydney Harbour in these tricky conditions. I reckon a pretty good tip would be just follow Yandu, wouldn't it?
I think if you do that, you'd be fairly strong. But we're just, the leading group are going in towards Chowder Head, Clifton Gardens. So that's Yandu, and that's Fisher Paykel and Shaw and Partners Australia.
Yeah, Keegan managing to just hold a nice little line above Brett Van Munster there, holding in well. Rag and Famish coming back to them now.
Ferries going everywhere. There's one outbound, there's one inbound. They'll split the fleet up a little. There's GC Sails of Queensland, Dash Victoria. We haven't seen much of them yet, but they're probably in the first 10. There's a bit more breeze now as we get up towards the windward mark. There's the ferry going to Manly. There's the ferry coming to Sydney. So it's all happening out here, and good breeze that the leading group have got off Chowder Head. It's in the left. The breeze.
There's Eli Leafting. He managed to escape the clutches of those two ferries, whereas GC Sails got himself caught between the two of them, which isn't the best place to be.
Yeah, the breeze is pressure in the left, which has hurt those that went right. It's favoured those that have gone left. And there's one of them, Fisher Paykel. He'd be third or fourth. Andu working. Oh, what's going on here? On the trying to ease the main sheet to pull the. Are they? What are they doing? No, they're just. It's up pressure here.
A little bit more breeze. Yeah.
Most we've seen all race. It's probably about 8-9 knots. Yandu standing out into the middle now. And up on their hip we've got Shaw and Partners Australia, Fisher Paykel, and the Americans in Andu. Come on, boys, get that main salon on the Andu, you'll be away. The Germans have wriggled their way through. They're probably in 5th or 6th. There's a big fleet of lasers out of the Vaucluse Club coming down near the weather mark. we got the weather mark sighted, Jimmy, at all?
Yeah, I was just looking myself.
Almost dead off our bow, Shippo, to... Is that the Vaucluse Sailing Club?
Oh, okay. So these boats in the left are not... Oh, they're not lame, but they're not far off it.
Yeah, I was about to say, some of the boats who are going back behind us now, they are going to overstand.
Especially with the tide helping them to windward.
Exactly.
Okay, well, here's the race leader. Yandu. No surprises here. Wriggle their way out of them. Only a poor start. Got buried early, but went the right way early and are now reaping the rewards.
Yeah, I think with the help of the tide, Shaw and Partners, Fisher Paykel and Andu should lay this mark.
So the mark, for those that know the harbour, it's basically off Bottle and Glass, just a little bit to the north of Bottle and Glass, near Watson's Bay, out off Nielsen Park. So that's the fleet there, the leaders. That's Nielsen Park in the background. Yandu leads.
Yandu, I think, will still have a couple of short tacks to get
let's
to
have a
this
look
mark.
at their setup. It looks pretty nice. There's Rag and Famish there, about 4th or 5th. They got a good start. They went right early, but managed to get out of trouble.
Shaw and Partners, New Zealand, just to leeward of them there, hanging in there nicely.
So Yandu are going to have a little short one to come back to round here. They're about 80 metres downwind of the weather turning mark. 3-lap, windward lewards. Going to be a light old run too, but just taking a little header as they're coming in here. And a couple of boats behind, as you say, have got really good left hand and tide to help them. They may lay, which is Shaw and Partners Australia and Killer Coffee.
Yeah, so, Keegan's already put the bow down and sailing for speed.
So Yandu about to tack. So we might get a little bit of a time here, Dole, just for sake of the exercise.
I don't think it's going to be a great deal.
No, it's Yandu leads. First mark, first race. Into their work straight away. Shaw and Partners, Keegan York second. Right up their exhaust pipe. Okay, Yandu's set, really good set. Shaw and Partners had to tack the mark. And then coming in, I think it's going to be close to Rag and Famish, could be third, and or Fisher Paykel. Boy room, there's a bit of yelling going on. No, Brett Van Muntz has got in there. So, but on the inside is Rag and Famish. Good job from those young boys. Fisher Paykel 4, then 5th. Go the USA, they're 5th.
The USA and Germans together.
Yeah. There's a line there, but I won't use it. Away we go.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Andu's around. Then the Black Knight. And then next will be, just struggling to get round, will be Shaw and Partners New Zealand. GC Sails following them. And Black Knight have a wine glass in their spinnaker, which came out. GC Sails around. Next will be Killer Coffee, Jordan Gertis, well positioned.
That was a pretty skillful move there where he had to go up and above and duck back down.
Oh, not a good set on the Shaw and Partners New Zealand. Slow old spinnaker set. Okay, next will be the Kitchen Maker. Well, the big loser here's been Balmain. Boy, are they well back. Okay, Kitchen Maker around the outside of Lazarus. And the Brisbane 18-footers, and then our Danish friends
in trouble.
What are they doing?
They're going to hit the mark for a start.
Well, you're allowed to do that within reason. Okay, you can kiss the mark. I suppose we'll give that a kiss. Then the Bad Nav, the Vikings, they will be next around. Then coming in will be Vycobi after their really disastrous start. They couldn't work their way much further up. They're around. And then also up to windward of them is our other German friends.
The Berlin Bears.
That's it, the Berlin Bears. And next will be the Royal Oak. Oh dear, and this is getting light here. The Royal Oak, ASCC, then Smeg's way back. They've got to tack again. Even
look who they're back there with
Balmain. Balmain, so ASCC from New Zealand, and Balmain and Smeg, who were first and second yesterday. Well, they're a long way removed from that today. Well, it's just so tricky off that start line. And we're away down to the leeward mark. The first of 3 Spinnaker runs, VMG run, and the breeze in the left.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit concerned, Shippo, about the breeze that we're going to have at this bottom gate. I think there's a lot of haze moving in from the west past the bridge into the lower end of the harbour, and traditionally when we see that, it usually kills the breeze. Moment up at this top end of the course, it's not looking too bad, but we'll see what we've got down at the gate. There's Yandu. Still legging down towards Bradley's Head. Probably not too far off a jibe.
The top of the screen there, you can see that party boat. That's the Glass Island or whatever it's called. That was the one that got in the way last year as well, Shippo.
Yeah, it couldn't be better positioned. Right on the spinning, the downwind ley line. But anyway, that's the group. They're all going in one direction, in towards Bradley's Head, the eastern side. Starting to jibe now. Yandu's jibe. Shaw and Partners Australia have jibed. There goes Andu. The Americans have jibed.
And how great is this for the USA team? Absolutely great to see them at the front of the fleet. I know we've got quite a few viewers watching from the USA. Great that they've got a team to barrack for this year.
Oh, they're doing a mighty job. The angles are pretty tight when they jibe. It's bow up to try and get this pressure. They've got a little bit of pressure now as they get about halfway down this leeward to the leeward mark. Yandu leads by plenty.
Yeah, it was only 8 seconds at the top mark. Looks like they might have extended a little, but we'll do a check-in when we get down to the gate.
So for the viewers at home, we're just having a little technical issue on board, trying to get the tracker to load on our end, so bear with us. If it comes good, we'll put it up there, but the joys of trying to do a live stream from the middle of Sydney Harbour with all this on a boat with all this technology that we have.
This is the group fighting for the minor placings at the moment. Up to windward is Andu of USA, then in the foreground Fisher Paykel, Rag and Famish. But jumping ahead of them is Shaw and Partners Australia, who have just jibed to come back on starboard to try and cover off on this fast coming fleet. And it looks like they're going to struggle to get across here. I think they will now. They've just picked up a bit of breeze after the jibe. They'll cross ahead of Fisher Paykel. So Shaw and Partners second, Fisher Paykel third, Rag 4.
Yeah, an early jibe from Shaw and Partners. And
it's interesting.
I'm not sure because it looks to me like they're sailing to the lighter side of the harbour right now, but they can obviously see something coming that they're hoping to hook onto when they jibe back, I suspect. They are running a good deep VMG angle right now. They are on the closest jibe to the gate.
Well, the gate is down to the northwestern side of Clark Island, basically between Clark and Garden Island, but a lot closer to Clark Island. Well, there's the view of 2 and 1. Yandu has just jibed, and Keegan York up here running towards the lee of Bradley's. He won't go too much further, I wouldn't think. but he's still got good pressure.
Yeah, no, I think he'll keep going. He's got
Yeah.
good VMG there now. He just needs something to drive back
Yeah,
on.
he might have breeze to get him through here.
But it looks like where Yandu have jibed, they have more breeze.
They've definitely got more breeze.
See the separation there.
I think Yandu's opened up on this leg.
Shore and Partners looking very light there.
Yeah, they've got to get out of here. Oh, he's just got another puff. We say that. No, he's all right now. I think he's going to get through this little void under Bradley's. He
No,
can
as I
extend.
say,
He can
they've done
extend
well.
here.
But they do need one to drive back on. That's going to be the telling problem for them. And there they go,
There they
driving
go, yeah.
now.
Well, that's the cross. It's quite significant cross. Good jibe. That's where we're
There
seeing.
you go. We have the leaderboard. It's come alive, people.
No, he's done well. He drived onto the pressure, and he's done well, Keegan York.
Yep. Yandu have extended, but it's it's going to be a handy lead. So we're almost completed one lap of 3. It's the first heat of the titles for the JJ Championship for 2026, and Yandu, the defending champion, is leading. Tom Needham steered it last year. Herman winning on the helm this year. They're about 100 metres from the gate. I think we're going to go to a right-hand gate, are we? I would think.
They're actually pretty hard pressed
Yeah,
to
they
get
are
down here now.
Okay. Keegan's jibed on the Shore and Partners. Yeah, Yandu really whipped up to get up here. Yeah, they've got good angle to go right through the middle of the gate, but they've got to go around one side. But okay, they're in now.
But they want the right turn.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
That's why they were heating up to try and get some height.
Okay, job done. Quiet. Okay, they're on the win.
Change of course, shortened, and the marks moved to port. I'm just saying that on a chase boat.
And here comes Keegan putting the crew under pressure. So Yandu are still going upwind with the Spinnaker half up. They can't get it down. That's the news on Yandu. Shore and Partners will follow them about 22 seconds adrift. So they extended a little. Yandu just getting the Spinnaker down now. But Shore and Partners nice and clean. Then Fisher Paykel.
Not something we're used to seeing on the Yandu,
No.
is it?
And then in close contact, Rag and Famish in 4th spot. And then a fair gap then to the next group. So there's the Rag getting around. That's Ryan Ewings and Max Nern with Ben Crawford. They're good. Nice job.
I've seen Sevi Jarvin when we first got to the park. Shippo was over with the guys on Rag and Famish, just going over a few bits and pieces with them. So no better person than Sevi Jarvin to come and offer you advice, that's for sure.
A few tips and tricks.
Okay, well, here's a go for the 5th spot. We've got GC Sales jibing on the top of Andu, our American friends, and also up to windward is that? It's the New Zealanders.
Yeah, Shore and
Sure,
Partners,
Partners,
New
New
Zealand.
Zealanders. Looking at that orange hull, but Andu a little bit clobbered here. They've got around the outside of 2 boats. So Shore and Partners, New Zealand around. Then GC Sales. Then Andu in really dirty air. Then coming in now, hot are the Black Knight, the German team.
The USA certainly got the rough end of that deal.
And Kitchen Maker going to the left-hand gate, the only one, probably to get clear air, but he's left his drop very late. Next around at the right-hand gate is the Killer Coffee. Kitchen Maker did a good job there. Get that Spinnaker down. He's got clear air. So we've got course has been shortened and changed. Do we get what the shortening is, Jimmy? Do we know what it is?
No, they don't normally advertise the distances. So they just either put a plus or a minus these days with a port or port or starboard.
So which way do they move it?
Minus, so it'd be a shorter course length. So and probably left. A 1.6, I'd say.
Yeah. So still 3 laps.
Yeah, still 3 laps
at this point in time.
As we're watching the Danes go round the leeward left-hand gate, and then also Vycobi follows them. They're well back. And then our friends on the Royal Oak at the right-hand mark. Vycobi just round. And then the Vikings around there, then ACC from New Zealand. Then up at the right-hand gate, we've got the Royal Oak going round, and then Balmain, and then Smeg. They've got some work to do, the Balmain boys.
Yeah, big turnaround from yesterday for both Balmain and Smeg.
So there's Smeg around, and then next to follow them will be...
That's Bar Karate from the UK.
Karate, yeah. And then at the other gate is ASCC around. Barrellinghams Club Marine, Emma Rankin. Going across in front of the Bigfoot. The 6th, the well back also. Ballard Properties. So Emma Rankin around after a good start. She's around. Ballard Properties, 2 girls together. Emma and Beck.
Yeah, Beck managing to get in front of...
There's the Bigfoot from Queensland. Next will be 6th. Then Gotcha for Life. 18-footer cafe, bar and restaurant. And who's the tail end, Charlie? There's one with a white spinner.
I say that it might be the Akarana Eatery.
Yeah, we haven't seen them, so we'll go upwind. So they're all around the leeward gate except one, which is, or these couple here, just about to go around. So it's the Akarana Bar and Eatery, I think, is it? So we're away for the second time upwind, and Yandu had a pretty nice handy lead, but in these tricky conditions, nothing for granted.
Yeah, that last boat is the Akarana Eatery, Shippo.
Right now, the boats are in a bit of pressure, but it looks up course like it's dying again, but it could be the light up there being a little bit deceptive.
And it's gone back a little bit to the right also. They're not quite as high as they were on Port Tack on the previous beat.
Yeah, which is why it's down pressure a little bit. I think it's gone right and dropped a couple of knots.
So Yandu in control very much of this race. There they are, right at the up top screen on port. Going in towards Shark Island. And this fleet are really spread out now. It's ASCC from New Zealand, just in the foreground.
I think the Kiwis will be hoping for a little bit more breeze that we're going to get tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes things up.
Well, here's it close. It's closed up here.
Yeah, Keegan much closer to Yandu now.
When we come back to them, it's a lot closer than they were at the leeward mark, or the leeward gate.
There's today's race partner, the Killer Coffee on screen.
Hazy now.
Shout out to Nick and the team at Killer Coffee.
They're having a good race too, the Killer Coffee today.
Well, look at this. This is tight again. Keegan York throwing the challenge down to Herman, winning. It's going upwind. We're about halfway up the beat. Light air. 7 to 8 knots for this heat one of the championship. The big championship. The one they all want to win.
Still a long way to go in this race.
That's the battle for third, and it's Rag and Famish has got himself into third position. Covering off on Fisher Michael. Ben Crawford v Brett Van Munster. And the breeze now has gone back to the left again. Boy, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying to stay in phase with those oscillations. Right now, further in front, Yandu and Shaw and Partners were quite a bit more bow up than what Rag and Famish and Fisher Paykel are, so they're dropping away behind the sterns of the lead two boats.
There's one boat that's gone way into the left is Shaw and Partners New Zealand. They're just skimming down the side, eastern side of Bradley's Head, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out. They might have closed up a little bit, but I still think that these two are clearly 1 and 2. Rags 3, Fisher Paykel 4, GC Sales 5, Brisbane 18s. Okay, GC Sales, Shaw and Partners New Zealand. Be interesting to see. Oh, they haven't done that well over there, I don't think.
Yeah, I think they'll get over to this left-hand side and probably get a left-hand shift is what they're looking for. Keegan's decided to tack out. See down there off Bradley's Head is the Killer Coffee Company, currently in about 10th place. They're having a really good race, and they're leading out with some big hitters just behind Shaw and Partners New Zealand and Lazarus GC Sales. So Killer Coffee Company really in the mix in this chasing pack, and they're not too far. They've closed up on these leaders, the chasing pack.
Yeah, they're not coming back on anything high out of the left, really, surprisingly, because these boats that are going back on starboard are pretty low. But anyway, it's sort of a. But there's Brett Van Munster, Fisher Paykel.
So right now, Fisher Paykel and just to weather of them, Rag and Famish, they're in a little bit of high right pressure. Meanwhile, we've got to weather of them, Shaw and Partners and Yandu going back on a really bad port tack.
Yeah. It's just the pressure's down too here.
Yeah, and there's a big pleasure boat charter boat in right smack bang in the middle of the course. Shippo, you might want to have a word to him as we go past.
Would you call it a boat? I don't know whether it's a boat. It's sort of some aberration down there. Anyway.
And we can see the top mark up there now.
Yeah, Fisher Paykel really copying from Rag and Famish at the moment. There's Killer Coffee bouncing off Bradley's Head, Jordan Gertis. His crew of Max Voss and Nick Rosenhaus.
Good to see Jordan back after a bit of a break.
Well, I think when we went to interview him this morning, Shippo, what did he say? He had 5 or 6 interviews that he had to do for all the media for the Killer Coffee Company. And then we wanted him and a few of the other media people wanted him. So he's doing a great job there as the new Commodore of the 18-footers.
Well, we're approaching Nielsen Park the second time. And Yandu's jumped away again.
Now I can see why they took that bit of pain before in that light, and they were bowed down very badly. They were heading badly. They've come over to this side. There's a bit of a shift over here. They're going to tack off Nielsen Park and should be looking pretty good. There's a little vein of breeze just running down this shoreline. There's Yandu looking good as always, but Keegan York looking just a little bit more powered up right now than Yandu.
They're approaching Steel Point on the southwestern end of Nielsen Park. Bit bumpy water. There's a few lasers coming down for the Vaucluse Yacht Club in their weekly race. I think Jordan Gertis's father Stephen probably out there racing, one of the top performers out of that club in the laser class.
The downside for Keegan here is they're going to go all the way out to a ley line and they're going to be in the gas. Yeah, they'll be in the gas from Yandu. And they'll lead them all the way into this top mark.
It's all about power now. It's very light, sloppy water.
They're probably overlaid nearly now, but Yandu's not going to attack until Keegan does.
We're going to be on Steel Point in a minute.
So Yandu's bailed out. And, oh, it's light here. Look at Fisher, Shaw and Partners.
Keegan lost his head there in that process.
And you're going to run it over, are you, Jimmy, or you get the boys to pick it up?
We don't have spare boys.
So these two have really jumped away from the third and fourth places. They're not quite on a lay here.
And the boys did manage to pick up Keegan's hat. So
Keegan's not getting it back.
No, what do you reckon? We auction it off.
Oh, they're going back on a shocker, Shaw and Partners. But meanwhile, third and fourth, Rag and Famish and Fisher Pike have gone way into the left, bouncing off Chowder Head.
And I reckon they'd be overlaid coming in from that side. We'll get a line up soon and we'll be able to tell.
Shaw and Partners just starting to lift down, a bit more pressure. Yandu's about 50 metres from the weather mark, not laying at the moment. Very light air. It'll be a soft old run again. Yeah, they're struggling here. Bent legs.
Oh no, Rag and Famish is on a pretty good line. They're not overlaid.
No,
the tide will carry them up a bit, but they should.
Yandu just starting to pressure and lift, so I think they'll lay this. Maybe Shaw and Partners will also now. They've got a bit of a wriggle on. Okay, so Yandu will lead. Nice job.
Did well to squeeze up to that, didn't they?
They did.
A bit of tide probably helped them, but they did a great job. Okay, clock is running. Yandu are around on their way downwind for the second time of three. Bow up a little, set the chute, and off towards Chowder Head. It's a lot shorter beat this time. They've changed the direction of the mark and also the distance. Yes, Shaw and Partners now going to lift up. 30 seconds gone already. And Keegan York will bring Shaw and Partners round in second place. And I've got the delta's going to be about 45 seconds. So that's a pretty handy lead. Okay, Shaw and Partners around. Yandu away on the distance. Bow up, running towards Chowder Head. And third will be Rag and Famish. He's going to be a fair way back. The fleet have spread right out now. So the Rag off camera has tacked on a ley line. And there they are. And there's Fisher Pike will tack also, I would think. There they go. So that's 3 and 4. I don't know where 5 is. They're a long way back, whoever it is. It may be our New Zealand friends, I think.
They're going to be close, between them and the Kitchen Maker.
Yeah.
And the Shaw and Partners New Zealand.
Yeah, Lockie Steele's done a good job in the Kitchen Maker as we watch.
GC Sales are in that mix too. They're coming back.
Rag and Famish go round, and they are 1:45 astern of Yandu. That's a fair gap. And then Brett Van Munster having a great day out. He'll be fourth. I think GC Sales may have got themselves up to 5th, as you said. Let's have a look at this here. No, we've got, yeah, GC Sales showing us 5. Okay, so Fisher Paykel around.
Great race from Brett Van Munster.
Yep.
To be very happy with that if they can hold that position.
But it is light, as obviously stating that breeze is lifting off everywhere. So they've got to get down this run, back up here, and then another run to the finish. Yandu right in on Chowder Head now in Taylor's Bay. So who's going to be next here? GC Sales, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be close between them and Shaw and Partners New Zealand, but I think GC Sales will get in before Shaw and Partners.
I'll tell you who's a big mover out of this whole pack has been Balmain. They're just like from our view there, they're right there behind Shaw and Partners New Zealand. So
they've started to wriggle their way through. Our American friends have dropped back a little, but anyway, we'll keep an eye on them. But we're watching now the next group that are going around. They'll be the group that are 5th, 6th and 7th. So it'll be GC Sales and Shaw and GC Sales round now. Then the Kitchen Maker. And then our friends from Auckland, Shaw and Partners New Zealand. Okay, Lockie Steele gets Kitchen Maker round. Good job. Now New Zealand, Top Boat, they're around. Yeah, as you say, Jimmy, Balmain have come into the picture, haven't they?
Big movers and shakers out of the whole pack.
New Zealand are around, Shaw and Partners. Next will be Lazarus, and then next will be Balmain. Boy, they had to put something into it, and they certainly have. Be a bit harder now trying to catch up on some boats, but after them will be our Black Knight friends from Germany, and also our Danish friends. They've done a fine job.
Bad Navin, the Vikings.
Just looking at this breeze, Dolly, it's getting lighter.
Yeah, and it's looking very light at the bottom of the course again, but it's a bit deceptive from where we are up here. But
so it'll be Germany, Denmark, United States. That's the order of the next 3.
Yeah, the Americans still hanging in there.
But just looking at from our vantage point near the weather market, Yandu look as though they're really opened up on Shaw and Partners. They're running down the eastern side of Bradley's Head. There's that group now of Germany, Denmark and United States. So all running down on starboard jibe. There's Killet Coffee. He got a bit lost up that beat, which was easy to do. Nielsen Park. A few swimmers there inside the net. And that's where they're going. New Zealand's jibing early in tandem with the Kitchen Maker and GC Sales. This is the group vying for 4th, 5th and 6th. Sorry, 5th, 6th and 7th. Fisher Paykel clearly in 4th position. So the leader of this group will be 5th. But Yandu streaking away down towards Bradley's Head. It's getting... There they are, just getting round that fun boat or whatever you want to call it. Ferry approaching them, they're going outbound to Manly. It's getting grey and sort of dreary on the harbour now. There's Keegan York approaching Bradley's Head lighthouse. Yandu's had to put in a jibe to avoid that ferry, I think. A little bit of advantage here to Shaw and Partners. There he is, there's the Bradley's Head lighthouse. White spinnaker belongs to Shaw and Partners, so that's the gap. Here's Rag and Famish, solidly in 3rd spot. They'll be delighted with this performance on the rag.
Gee, and really tricky here off Bradley's Head. We've got two big charter boats and a ferry, all mixing it up and making it very difficult for these boats to pick their way through, find some jibe angles just to get down to this bottom gate and stay in the pressure.
Yandu just going through that wake of that powerboat, but they've got really good pressure. Got a bit fresher down towards the bottom gate here at the moment, so they've really opened up a terrific lead now.
So that's looking back towards Shaw and Partners, and then just up near that charter boat you can see Rag and Famish in third place. Much different jibe angles to what we saw when we came down here last week.
Well, there's 3, 2 and 1. There they are. Getting down towards the gate for the second time, so this will be the completion of 2 laps, 1 lap to go. Now here's a boat from yesteryear, look at this, the great classic 18-footers. The Mighty Mistake. Anyway, that's yesteryear.
The old and the new.
Having a nice run to the finish, and that's today's race. That's what they're all about. Yandu approaching the gate for the final time. 1 lap to go.
There they go. Yandu dropping the kite. Looks like they're going to go for that right-hand turn again. This breed's really funny at the bottom of the course. It's actually a little bit of an increase right now.
Well, that's a better rounding from Yandu. Had the spinnaker up last time they were around. The clock is running. And what did we say, about 45 seconds at the windward mark? Yeah, it won't be... Yeah, it'll be interesting. They look as though they were further ahead halfway down the beat, but Keegan closed in on Shaw and Partners. So they're comfortably in second spot. Okay, sheet round, tacks off.
Maybe closed up just a touch.
Yeah, I'd closed up about 8 or 10 seconds. So there we go. And we go. So the final beat up towards Nielsen Park.
Two of the big heavy hitters from last year. First and second last summer. Fighting it out again.
And the breeze has increased down here. As you were saying earlier, it's spiked up till about 8 knots. We're up at the windward mark when we were there the last time. It was 6 knots or so at best, but we've got Rag and Famish barrelling down. They're a little bit high on the lay, but not too bad. And then up to windward of them, Brett Van Munster very high on his jibe angle.
So yeah, Brett's got another jibe to do here.
Yeah. He'll probably 1 jibe and then jibe drop. Rag and Famish nice and tidy in third spot. They about the same delta behind Yandu as they were at the weather mark. They're about a minute 50 astern. So Rag around, and Fisher Paykel doing a jibe drop. Bit of pressure for the crew. Oh. That's crew under pressure with that manoeuvre. You can see the result. It's not pretty. 2 on the wire, but they've got getting the spinnaker on board now. Still a few tangles to ease the jib off. Must be caught in that block. Oh, that's
Yeah, it looked like it was in the jib sheet at the front there.
Yeah. Oh, it's still not clean. Okay, jib just coming on now.
There's the kitchen maker and GC Sales duking it out.
Yeah, well, that's the battle for fourth
and fifth. And
yeah.
Great effort.
Fifth and
Fifth and sixth, you're right, Jimmy. Great effort from the kitchen maker today. Excellent sailing.
Maybe the sponsor Darren has to sail every week, but he's not sailing on that
He's
boat.
on a different boat.
The best breeze we've seen all day here.
It is, yeah.
They're smoking in.
A nice breeze coming through Bradley's Head now. Eli lifting in the Shore and Partners New Zealand.
And then looming up with the orange chute, having to come from a long way back up Balmain. But they got themselves into single figures, which is probably okay. Being hard pressed by Tom Koenig and the Lazarus, but Yandu keeps on keeping on up the final beat.
Yeah, sailing smart too, just keeping themselves to weather of Shore and Partners, not letting anyone get away.
There's the mighty Yendies.
Powering downwind.
A familiar logo on the mainsail.
Very familiar, mate.
What a great sight.
So that's what the 18s for the viewers at home, that's what they used to be like in yesteryear, and that's there right behind them is what the modern 18s look like.
Well, that's old and new, but a great sight. So there's a trailing pack led by Killer Coffee, Club Marine and Bigfoot.
How good's that logo on that spinnaker shipper?
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Sort of Aztec skull. The Killer Coffee's done well there. They're holding off Bigfoot and Emma Rankin in Club Marine.
Still coming down is sixth. They're a long way back. I thought they were up a bit closer than that, but anyway, we'll see where they end up. There's Jacob Marks.
Great shot there of Killer Coffee with Club Marine. Looking back towards the bridge.
Now, interestingly, Yandu's let Shore and Partners go. Yandu going right into Bradley's Head in the left, and Shore and Partners out in the middle of the harbour going back on starboard as we see. But Yandu looking for that left-hand shift out of Taylor's Bay, and they've got it, I think.
They're in some very bumpy water over there, though. They're chopping wood, going through ferry and powerboat wash.
There's the intersection. It's not that much in it.
Oh, and just to help, that jet boat's about to plough across Keegan's bow. There it goes. Thanks for that.
Keegan's used to sailing where they have jets, but they're ones that take off and land. Keegan did all his youth sailing down at George's River and St George Sailing Club.
Or jet skis.
Or jet skis down there too, that's right. Told there's plenty of them down there.
Well, that's the intersection. Halfway up the final beat of the first heat of the championship.
Right. Keegan's starting to close the gap here.
He did that last time. First half of the beat, he got pretty close. Then Yandu extended. Boy, some choppy water here off Bradley's where we are, just to leeward of Shore and Partners. Trying to ride a few waves here.
Yeah, Keegan's hooked into a nice bit of wash here that he's
there
surfing.
He goes.
Look at this, he's surfing that wave and grinding height. So you get the speed, he can take the extra height. Nicely done. Now, it looks to me about 100 metres to weather of him. There's a fresh new line of pressure. So I think he'll sail to that and tack on it. Yandu's decided to tack back and not let Keegan off the hook on Shaw and Partners.
Yeah, I think he had to do that.
Nice pressure in the left here, Shippo.
Yeah, he couldn't let him go. But well, it's a clear harbour. There's not a boat between them and the weather mark. Nothing to interfere with them. No cruise boats, no ferries.
But yeah, these two have stepped out by a big distance now. Good fight between the two of them, but they've stepped out quite clearly from third place.
That's the order. GC Sail still 5th. Shaw and Partners New Zealand 6th. Balmain up to 7th. Boy, it's
great salvage job.
That's impressive.
And there's still potential for them to pick up a few on this last lap. If they could get back to 5 or something, they'd be pretty happy with that after the first.
They were on the first week.
Yeah.
You'd almost make sure that the safety knife is well and truly locked aboard.
Yes. Shaw and Partners not going away here. He's got some good height. Not a little bit higher than Yandu at the moment.
Still, it's very hard to pass. Not many passing lanes on this course right now.
When you're competing against a good crew like this, they're not going to give you any wriggle room. Trying to sight the weather mark there.
Yeah.
Still got a bit of tide, have we, Jim? Jimmy flying?
Yeah, just 5:30 tonight is the low tide, so we've still got...
So it's flowing out, helping them get upwind. So...
Only a metre of tide flowing, so there's not a lot of tide flow.
I see that weather mark is almost in transit with the Watson's Bay Hotel. So Keegan, if he gets too much of a left-hander, he won't be far off it. So Yandu, middle of stream, and Shaw and Partners in on Chowder Head. Won't be far off attack, Shaw and Partners.
And with a bit of a shift to the right has played well for Yandu.
Yeah.
They've made a gain.
Yeah,
Keegan's going to be tacking out of here down.
Yeah,
They're
way down.
Way down.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be higher in the left for him, but it really didn't materialise. It's interesting, those two have just rocketed away from the rest of the fleet. Yeah, Yandu nowhere near a lay line now. Shaw and Partners didn't get any left-hander out of that. Yandu, nice covering job right on him.
Oh, this breeze has really ticked around to the right.
Yes. Anyone go hard right?
Yeah, we've got, trailing, but we've got Brett Van Munster in Fisher Paykel hard right. So he'll gain out of that. Still not in contention for the win, but they're fighting it out for third place with Rag and Famish, who currently hold third. But there's our two leaders. Yandu's not letting Shaw and Partners out of their clutches, that's for sure. They're just staying above them. But yeah, previously they would have tacked where they tacked over on that western shore, and they would have been on the ley line. They're not even close this time. Breeze has really switched around to the right.
And Yandu have extended here, I think. They're probably about 200 metres downwind of the weather mark. You might see that coming up shortly. You'll see it on the bow of Shaw. There it is. There's the weather mark. So that's the final time they will round it and then run to home.
Yeah, and Yandu just eked out a little bit more height out of that port tack as well, and that's extended them again. when we were coming over to that western side, Keegan was making big gains, but once they tacked,
yeah.
it just
Disappeared,
evaporated, didn't it? Yeah. But a good battle between Yandu and Shaw and Partners. There's Brett Van Munster and Fisher Paykel, currently in 4th place.
Hanging in very nicely. Well, boat builder himself.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Brett has the contract to build the 18-footers. Does a great job. Probably get sick of looking. I know how he feels. You get sick of looking at boats all week and then sailing them.
You were never like that, Dolly.
The trick is to sail them more than you work on them. Rarely happens.
So he's standing in towards Clifton Gardens, Chowder Bay, and looking for a bit of a left-hander to get back on, but he's fair way out of 3rd spot at the moment.
He's high on starboard at the moment, so I can't see him unless he can get a miracle shift. There's Yandu tacking for the top mark now.
So Nielsen Park blinker just above him, and probably close to a ley line for the weather mark for the final time. Oh, it's a nice lead again. About 45 seconds at the leeward gate. We'll give a time around the weather mark for the final time. Quite very flat water. Nice little bit of 8 to 9 knots of east northeasterly breeze, laying it very, very nicely. Okay, they're almost there, and they are around. The clocks are running. Bound for home.
Well, no, they're good.
There it is. Bow up, shoot full, and running in towards Clifton Gardens. Mainsail just coming on by Fang Warren, and it all looks pretty nice. I'm going to jibe early. Oh, interesting. More pressure out on the right. So it's an interesting manoeuvre, but anyway, they'll probably want to get in the middle of the track, then jibe back when Shaw and Partners goes round.
Yeah, it also takes out the risk of Shaw and Partners putting an inside jibe inside of them.
Yeah. Smart sailing. It's already been over a minute, so they've extended significantly on this final beat. 45 seconds at the gate. We're now up to 1:15, so 30 seconds or more gain. Shaw and Partners are around.
Yeah, 1:20.
And made straight into a jibe. No messing around from Keegan.
I would have expected Keegan to do that in Shaw and Partners,
Oh,
so that was the reason for
Great set.
Sermon winning, putting in that early jibe.
So there's the 2 leaders with Spinnakers up, and 3rd place Rag and Famish.
And a jibe set with the battens pop, Jimmy. I love to see that, eh?
He'll be might even get his hat back.
Okay, Rag and Famish. Well, racing today for the George Calligras Trophy, and George, as I mentioned earlier, great support of the late George Calligras through his sponsorship of the Rag and Famish Hotel, continued on by his son Pete. So they'd be thrilled with this performance from the Rag, their best outing of the year, and a good time to make it. Easy ley line.
And one David Witt would be fist pumping from one end of town to the other with young Ryan on board.
Indeed.
Yeah, Ryan Ewings and Matt Nern, Ben Crawford.
Yeah, great job from them. There they go, they're going to jibe set as well. And just coming into shot now will be Brett Van Munster. There he is in the Fisher Paykel.
Oh, okay, he's close enough. If good enough here, Brett, he might have to do a few different manoeuvres downwind, but they're well clear of the 5th spot.
We've got Ben Crawford in the Rag and Famish, one of the youngest in the fleet, and Brett Van Munster, who I think is probably the oldest in the fleet.
Good set. Again, they're splitting. Well, it's a good manoeuvre, I think, from Brett. Probably wasn't going to catch them following them. And then Yandu's gone right into Rose Bay. Here's a good go between Kitchen Maker and Balmain. So Fisher Paykel's 4. Kitchen Maker. Now, New Zealanders have got themselves up to 5th. And Balmain dropped back a little.
Shore and Partners, New Zealand and GC Sales are both still in there. Lazarus not too far behind. And they're the boats that Balmain is really desperate to get through, I think.
Now, this is the interesting part, will be the battle for 3rd. Rag and Famish jibe set went right into Steel Point at Nielsen Park. Fisher Paykel bear away set running into Chowder Head. So on both extremes of the harbour, Rag and Famish right on the eastern side, Fisher Paykel on the western side. They're the 2 leaders. Yandu still in command here. No problems at all now for her.
So the side of the harbour that those 3 leaders have gone to, there'll be less tide punishing them over there, whereas Fisher Paykel, Brett Van Munster's going to have to cross the tide line full distance. He's got a little bit of pressure now.
Yeah. He's having a look around. There he goes, I think. 1 crew in, all in, Jibo. Sheet on, and away we go.
He's in good breeze.
Yeah.
Can he carry that pressure all the way across the harbour?
Right in the background, coming across on starboard jibe is the Rag. That's the battle for 3rd. They were about 20 seconds behind at the windward mark. But I think the Rag, well, it's hard to say. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, it's one-way traffic now.
We are making our way down to the leaders. There they are. Herman Winning, Fang Warren and Louis Brake in the Yandu. Clear ahead now, barring any disaster. They will beat Shore and Partners down to the finish. Very well sailed race from these guys too. You know, they were on that first lap, they were a little bit in the pack. They managed to pick their way through up that first beat. That first part of the race was definitely the toughest part of the day. Setting up for a jibe now. Head over towards Clark Island. There's a split screen. Shore and Partners still off Bradley's Head. Yandu heading over towards Clark Island to look for a ley line into the finish.
It looks like Fang inside the boat, looking
jive
for
angle.
the jive angle to the finish line.
Yep. Probably said a few 50 metres to go or so, and we're bound for home. Final jibe to come. Pretty close, I would think.
Oh, the finish boat's a fair way deep.
Oh, I see. He's deeper than the
Yeah.
gate. Yes, I see him now. Yep. So they'll
They'll
just.
almost be scraping
There
the
he
island.
goes. About to go now.
Yeah, but they'll be putting in another one after that, I would think. We'll soon see.
This support boat might have a bit on.
Not much pressure, but just bow up and going now.
Yeah, they're going to have another job to get into this finish yet. That's pretty good. Thanks. Herman winning opening, he's come back pretty well here. Coming back into the class late. Firstly, there was the injury to Mika Lane, and so Herman stepped in to take over.
Very, very good performance from this crew. Buried early off the start. Wriggled their way out clearly and jumped ahead after a couple of dramatic manoeuvres to go left and then right, and then left again, and they've absolutely nailed it to perfection. Once they got in front, have not put a foot wrong. That's a nice opening for the championship for Yandu. The final jibe now into the finish of Heat 1 of the JJs. I think they're going to lay through. They're laying down nicely now on the port jibe. Shaw and Partners Australia a long way back. In a solid second though. Be very happy with that, Keegan York. Okay, Yandu now almost there. Race 1 belongs to Herman Winning, Fang Warren and Louis Brake. Well done. Stellar performance. Probably surprise to no one. I think they're a lot of people's favourite to win the title, but still 8 races to go. I'm sure they're reminding themselves of that, but it's a fine way to start this regatta. As Shaw and Partners coming home now. We got a time going, Dole?
No, I didn't. Sorry,
okay,
mate.
right.
Yeah.
We'll make it up anyway. It's a very good performance by Max Paul, Tom Anderson and Keegan York to be second. So the Rag now clearly in third spot. That Maraway set didn't work for Brett Van Munster at all. They didn't get anywhere near Ben Crawford in the Rag, so the Rag will be third. Strong performance from this young team that probably liked the lighter conditions, but nonetheless they had to get the job done today. It was a tricky day, especially the first beat. Just looking for a bit of pressure to get up. They've probably got another jibe to come in, I think. Maybe one more.
Yeah, great sailing from this young team.
No, they're going to almost lay down. No, they've got one and in, I think. Oh, they're just getting headed nicely. Right at the right time.
They're pretty light. They
Yep.
can do a bit of a soak. Ryan just stepping in to get a bit of depth.
No, I don't think they're going to do it. Oh, no. Just go up and jibe. There they go.
Pretty cool young team when you think
No,
about
they're
it.
going to run deep. Deep and jibe. Yep, so third to the Rag and Famish. I'll be thrilled with that effort. Very good effort. And then the remainder are coming down at a slowish pace. Fisher Paykel next. Brent Van Munster. So he'll be fourth.
Then we'll have the Shore and Partners New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, they've got themselves up there to fifth place. Well, they'll be pretty happy with that. I would think it's a tough day out there for them. For all of them, really, but especially if you're not totally used to the harbour.
Yeah, they've been here before, but these tricky days, you know, experience helps a lot.
Really catch you with your pants down. Eli Leifting, Sam Street and Josh Shon. One jibing in. So they're almost across, about 5 boat lengths to go. So fifth to Shore and Partners New Zealand. And then the battle really for the 6th, 7th, 8th to 9th.
Yeah, crucial positions coming up in this
every
next
point
finish.
Vital here now. Vital. So probably he's going to be next to Kitchen Maker. 6th will be the Kitchen Maker.
Excellent
Lachlan
sailing.
Steele, yeah.
George Morton and Jerome Watts, great work from that team
Pretty
today.
pumped on board there.
Yeah.
Okay. Kitchen Maker will be 6th. GC Sales 7. And 8 will be Balmain. Well, probably a little disappointing, but from where they were, they'd probably have to be reasonably happy with that, I think. But GC Sales, they sailed well. Again, we thought they'd be up there, and they were. They get a 7th, 8th Balmain, 9th Lazarus.
Tom Koenig.
And the real group of skiffs now coming down, probably led by Vycobia, another that got dead and buried at the start. And here come our American friends, also with Lazarus going across in 9th spot. The real battle royal for the next placings. So, look at our American friends here to windward of the German friends. And there's Vycobia.
And they've rolled them.
They've absolutely rolled them. Vycobia's not going to lay down to the line. I think, Andu may. So Andu, again for 10th here. Smeg have come back into it a little bit too. They were deep and buried with Balmain. No, Vycobia got to go up for pressure. They've got at least one more jibe to do. Okay, so Andu, are they going to lay down? No, they're all bow up here. Vycobia, this is going to be a real battle when Vycobia comes back. So none of these boats are laying the finishing line here. It's all one and in here. Now maybe, just maybe, now tactic's going to play a part here. Vycobia on port have no rights. So, are they across? Oh, the American's going to jibe early. Oh, I don't know.
Gee, that's let Vycobia off the hook.
Yeah, I think Vycobia are going to... oh, not a great jibe on Andu, the Americans. So Vycobia, Kirk Mitchell saved his best till last there. He'll get 10th. Okay, 10th Vycobia. Oh, then
This is going to be close.
Our American friends lost out big time. They're going to lose about 3 boats there. So Black Knight 11, I think.
Then Smeg, then Andu, I think.
Yeah, that's why I seen it.
Smeg that Andrew. They beat him, did he? Oh dear.
And the Brisbane 18 footers. And that'll be close between the Royal Oak and the Berlin Bears, but Royal Oak.
Okay, Hugo Stoner across in 14th position, the Royal Oak. Good day out for him, and then
they're not there yet.
No. It's our Berlin Bears mates from Germany, Berlin Bears. And our Danes friends, the Vikings. Then
Bigfoot, I think.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Then it looks like probably the Bar Karate UK team.
I think so. Oh, ASCC. Who's going to get that? Bar Karate. Are they? Oh no, maybe AS. Oh, too close. Can't. Oh no. ASCC, I think. ASCC. Bar Karate. Then. 6th Killer Coffee dropped off a bit, as did Emma Rankin. Okay, 6th. Who's going to get this one here?
Yeah, Killer Coffee will roll Club Marine here, I think.
6th, they're up at the windward end here, the committee end rather, so it'll be 6th. Killer Club Marine. Okay, well, we're all but finished here, I think. Fleet reasonably close today. 18-footer bar and restaurant. That'll be next. And then to Ballard Properties.
Probably Gotcha for Life.
Gotcha.
Might be inside Ballard Property, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe Gotcha with the pale or the grey spinnaker, and Ballard Properties up to windward. And then the final one, I think, is the Akarana Eatery, just jibing at Shark Island. Well, I think we'll say that it's a day that had a little bit of everything, but not much wind. Start was a real mix-up of which way to go. Boats took some really interesting manoeuvres to get themselves out of trouble. They had to roll the dice, and especially Yandu, who didn't look good at all for a long while. He worked his way and realised he had to get right and then left again. And then after a short time, he jumped out in front, and it was his race then on. And a good battle for the minor placings for a while, but Shoreham Partners, again, impressive from Australia. Keegan York. Rag and Famish having an outstanding outing for this young crew with 3rd. Fisher Pike, or the veteran, Brett Van Munster, 4th. And then our New Zealand boat, top New Zealand boat, Shoreham Partners in 5th spot, Kitchen Maker 6th. So, Dolly, I think we've probably said it all throughout the race, but again, Yandu, pretty impressive. They know how to get out of trouble and can protect a good lead, don't they?
Yeah, they were impressive, and like we said, you know, they had to climb their way back on that first beat, but, you know, we also expected that that Yandu and Shoreham Partners Australia would be sort of heavy hitters along with Balmain. We've been talking about Balmain. Certainly showed, you know, they were well back, and they managed to climb their way back through the fleet. So they've obviously got the speed. Just they got a bit lost on that first work, was very expensive for them. So impressed also, as we were being told that Shoreham Partners New Zealand, Eli Leifting, was going to be a boat to watch. But impressed today with the Kitchen Maker and Brett Van Munster in Fisher Paykel. Great result for Brett. So, and of course the young guys on the rag. Ben Crawford, great sailing from them. So, but what I do know, shippers, is tomorrow is going to be another day, and it is going to be windy, and it's going to be out of the south, and we love that southerly course, don't we, Jimmy?
Absolutely, favourite one.
So
it's not going to be quite as fresh as we thought, is it? I don't think. We thought yesterday was probably 20 plus, but I had a look earlier today. It was only about 15 to 18, but no doubt it is a southerly. Just looking at sea breeze as we speak, and it's early morning. The southerly gets in about 5 a.m. It peaks at about 8 a.m. at 20 knots, and race time it's about 14 to 15.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, yeah. Anyway, we know it'll probably be in a different direction. How strong it will be, we will not know until tomorrow, about this time tomorrow, as we watch the Akarana Eatery just coming down to be the tail end Charlie, but well done, they finished. So a very, very good day. Not too much excitement as such as wind was concerned, but exciting as far as tactics and where to put the boat, that is for sure. So Yandu, the victors, and a very, very fine performance. So Heat 1 is done and dusted after a general recall, and they started under black flag. So tomorrow, 2:45 Sydney time, we'll be back on Sydney Harbour for Heat 2 of the JJs. We hope you can join us then. So on behalf of all the team on board the Sail Media vessel, we thank you for your patronage and watching, and we look forward to your company tomorrow afternoon from the harbour. Peter Shipway saying a very good afternoon to you all.